Yo, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about Fortnite Winterfest and Fortnite events in general and why they might not be hitting as much as they used to. As you guys may know, Fortnite Winterfest obviously recently just happened. We're halfway through January and the Winterfest cabin shut down on January 6th or 7th. So it's been a little bit over a week, and we're kind of moved on at this point from the Fortnite Winterfest. Obviously, some winter items are in the game right now as of recording this, but they'll be gone soon. And I feel like this Winterfest, although having the cabin, although bringing the snowy map, although having a lot of great features, it did not hit the same, which is a little bit weird. When Fortnite announced that they were bringing back the cabin with the 14 presents, people were excited, people were happy that OG Prime Fortnite, like Chapter 2 Season 1 with the cabin, a lot of people thought that was peak, and so that they were bringing it back, a lot of people were excited. But it ended up not doing as well as a lot of people anticipated. The gifts that Epic gave were fine. We got Snoop Dogg in a Christmas outfit, a couple decent items here and there, but the problem, not necessarily that the gifts were really bad, and this isn't like the reason why Fortnite Winterfest didn't do as good, but it just feels like none of the gifts are memorable, especially the Snoop Dogg winter outfit. Back in Chapter 2 Season 1, for example, when we first got introduced to a cabin being, the 14 gifts, opening them up concept, we had two unique original skins, the Christmas tree skin and the woolly mammoth skin. Although these were not the best skins ever made, by far, obviously, they still were original, they still gave the Christmas feel, and they still gave new players or people who didn't spend money usable skins that they would actually get to use if they just had the default skin. Obviously, getting to wear Snoop Dogg for free is all fun and dandy, but at the same time, the collaborations, after doing them for so long, especially since Snoop Dogg was in the game just in Chapter 2 Remix, I feel like Epic was kind of shoving him down our throat. And don't get me wrong, I love Snoop Dogg. I think he's one of the funniest people in general. But when you put the same person back-to-back seasons and kind of shove him down the player base's throat in both seasons, it makes it a little bit less enjoyable. And speaking of a little bit less enjoyable, although this Fortnite Winterfest was not bad, I actually think it was pretty decent, it just is not hitting the same. And we gotta talk about why it's not hitting the same. Because we know that Fortnite is able to capture the magic that they had in 2018, Chapter 2 Season 2. They're able to capture that magic. Like when they brought back OG Fortnite, not the recent time, the first time for the 1 month, people were excited and genuinely happy playing Fortnite again. So that moment alone proved that they were able to regain the magic. Even something more recently, like a Chapter 5 Season 1, or even Chapter 2 Remix event, a lot of people loved those certain Fortnite moments because it felt original. I guess original isn't the best word, especially for the collab event, but it felt fresh. It felt like something where it's a take on old Fortnite, but it's not just completely redoing what old Fortnite did. Like Chapter 5 Season 1, for me and for a lot of players, it felt like old Chapter 1, but obviously with the modern Fortnite twist, which is great, and I think Chapter 6 also does that pretty well, but for some reason, not as many people really talk about Chapter 6, and we'll get to that later on. And then the Chapter 2 Remix event as well, it wasn't a complete copy of the Travis Scott event. 4 artists instead of 1. Obviously, the tribute to Juice WRLD. A lot of people loved it, and for good reason. It gave them hope, and it gave them a great feel of Fortnite. That was when people were talking about Fortnite, and now it feels like we're not really. It still is one of the biggest played games in the world, and it probably always will be, at least for me and a lot of other people in the player base's lifetime. It will be one of the biggest games. But we do kind of have to talk about why they weren't able to capture the magic that they have been able to do recently. And my big reason for Fortnite not really being able to capture the magic is that they kind of have done everything at this point. And I'm going to get a little bit deep into this topic, so give me a minute here. But the first collab in Fortnite was Chapter 1, Season 4, the Thanos collab. And obviously, that was one of the most exciting and hype moments for the Fortnite player base ever. Getting to play as Thanos in Fortnite was something no one ever thought you'd be able to do. And then over time in Chapter 1, collabs felt special. They felt fresh. They felt like a fun take on the game. They had priority. And over time, the collab part of Fortnite started to get shoved down our throats a little bit, which kind of made us not really appreciate collabs as much. We still like collabs. We still think collabs are good, especially if you get the right IP for the game. But for the most part nowadays, people won't really take a second look at a collab. They'll just be like, oh, they brought this in, that's cool. They brought that in, that's cool. We can't really be surprised anymore if they bring anything in. And that, my friends, is what I want to talk about. Is Fortnite doesn't have that surprise factor anymore. They've thrown every card at us in the book, and it just won't be surprising no matter what they do in the future. And I think the final nail in the coffin for Fortnite doing this is bringing Skibbity Toilet to the game, and the day after, bringing Renegade Raider and Aerial Assault Trooper back into the game. Fortnite at this point has brought basically everything back. They brought back Chapter 1, Season 1, quote-unquote, exclusive skins. They are getting their own edit style, but the main point is that these skins that were supposed to be never purchased or seen again are thrown into the item shop the day after they brought Brain Rot into the game, we'll just call it. And we're going to continue to see this. We're going to see Chapter 1 Battle Pass skins come back. Eventually Chapter 2 Battle Pass skins will come back. And no skin will really have any value. The final card, at least for me, that Fortnite has, they have 2. If they get stuff from Nintendo into the game, like Sonic and Mario, that will be a shock, because Nintendo has said multiple times they don't want to do that. So if that did happen, that would be shocking. And also bringing Travis Scott back to the game. There's a chance they do this. If they did, the player base would go crazy. But besides those 2, I really can't think of anything that would shock the player base or make them super excited anymore. You made OG Fortnite a permanent game mode, which in my opinion didn't ruin what OG was, but it definitely hindered it at least a little bit. And I'm not one that likes to talk negative about the game. I'm one that likes to talk about the game in its current state, be honest, be open, because it feels like we can't hit that sweet spot as a community. We're not able to go in the middle. It feels like we're either fully going negative, like we've seen a lot recently. There's plenty of situations I can talk about. We won't go into any of them. Just, the community not really being, open to ideas that Epic has brought into the game. And then you have the other side, which is more of the bigger YouTubers that do the positive side, the Glaze of Fortnite, where if you have these big YouTubers saying everything in the game is great, there shouldn't be any changes, then we're never going to see Epic try to push the boundary or try to make changes that could improve the game if your top guys are just going to be there glazing all the time and only saying positive things, never getting constructive criticism. And that's why a lot of people like Ninja. Ninja is known for being open about the game, being honest about the game, and that's why a lot of people respect him, even if he can be a little bit wild sometimes, be a little bit harsh. He's saying the truth at the end of the day, and an opinion that's put out there by a big streamer is going to be respected by people who just want to be able to relate to someone that is of high status. So what does all of this have to do with Fortnite Winterfest? Well, unfortunately with Fortnite Winterfest, it's just a trap of Fortnite's making things less valuable. I think that's the biggest thing. Fortnite has made a lot of things less valuable, whether it be sentimentally, interest-wise. There's multiple reasons that there isn't to be as much excitement for Fortnite Winterfest anymore. Maybe for young kids, like I'm talking 9 and under, are going to be excited every day to get on Fortnite, open a Winterfest present. And that used to be the player base a couple years ago. Obviously, they grew a little bit and are not going to be necessarily doing that anymore. But at the end of the day, we are going to see the number of people genuinely excited and hyped for Fortnite Winterfest go down and down every year, unless there's a big change they make to draw people back into it. But it feels like the downfall of Fortnite seasonal events is bound to happen, which is very unfortunate to say, because being a player that was obviously young when started playing, like I'd say I was 10, 11 when I started playing the game, and Fortnite was special, you know, and it still is special. It's a special game, but the Fortnite Mares, Winterfest, all of those game modes, it feels like no matter what they do, it's not gonna hit that sweet spot sentimentally that the old Fortnite did with their seasonal events. And that sounds like I'm just being nostalgic baited, or I think that's how you say it, nostalgia baited. And in reality, it just feels like they gotta find a new concept and they gotta be willing to take that risk. That risk could fail, but I can respect them taking the risk. There is multiple times where Fortnite has taken a risk and it has failed. The community wasn't happy, and in return, Epic started playing it more safe. But I can respect Epic Games for taking these risks, and I feel like they should do it more often, because the more risks you take, the more often you're bound to fail, but at the same time, the more often you're bound to find a diamond in the rough. And that was what the old Epic would do, and that was what a lot of old gaming studios would do in general. Take more risks, find what would work, and keep on doing it. But now it feels like everyone is playing it safe. One great example I have of Fortnite taking a risk and it failing was Chapter 5 Season 3. Fortnite wrecked. Most of the player base hated that season, or at least did not like it. There was obviously a couple people that did really enjoy it. For the most part, people did not like that season, but they took a risk. They tried something, and that is the respect part about it. They didn't decide to just play it safe, throw a basic map, basic weapons, and there's people that are there for that. But Epic taking risks for these seasonal events, adding new things, like for example Chapter 2 Season 4, that Fortnite Mares, when they had the zombie feature, you'd spawn back as a zombie, be able to kill people and get a zombie victory royale. That was one of the coolest concepts, and it isn't even that complex. It's basically just a respawn feature themed for Fortnite Mares, and it's basically Reload, but just a little bit different, obviously. And I thought it was a great game. some of the most fun I ever had playing Battle Royale. So I just want Fortnite to try a little bit more for 2025 on their Winterfest and their Fortnite mirrors. I want to see new ideas, at least one new idea, and I want to see Fortnite try to reinvent something that they have, to a degree, milked. You could say they've milked the cabin. I love the cabin. I think it's a great ad, but I wouldn't mind them trying a little bit of a different version of the cabin. Not just the same exact thing that we've had a couple times now. I get it, it's the first time back in a little bit, so it's fine. But for 2025, 2026, I would like to see Epic give a little bit of a new take on the cabin. And so, that is my thoughts on Fortnite Winterfest. I wish I had time to write a script, to be honest, so I can be more clear on what I'm saying. But I think I got my point across very well. I like to talk to you guys, and I like to do these kind of videos without writing a script, so it feels natural. It feels like I'm having a conversation. It doesn't feel like I'm giving a presentation. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.